This story is an exploration of the secret chambers of the human heart. It looks at the things we bury, convinced that keeping them locked away will somehow protect the people we love. Soseki Natsume's 1914 novel is titled Kokoro, a term that merges the physical heart with the mind, the spirit, and the entire inner essence of a person. The book opens with an unnamed university student drawn to an older, isolated man. The student refers to him only as Sensei, a title of deep respect meant for a teacher. But Sensei teaches him no formal subjects. He presents a profound mystery. He has built thick, impenetrable walls around his private self, concealing his history even from the young man who so clearly reveres him. To understand Sensei, you have to look at Tokyo in the early 20th century. Japan was accelerating through the Meiji era, rapidly modernizing its economy, its streets, and its institutions in a matter of decades. Society was caught in a brutal tug-of-war. The older generation held on to traditional ideals of strict duty and unquestioning loyalty, while a younger generation was adopting Western concepts of individual freedom and self-determination. Sensei is trapped by this transition, and his paralysis extends directly into his own home. He refuses to share his inner life with the young narrator, and he lives in complete emotional silence alongside his own wife. When the loud, systemic changes of a culture collide with severe personal trauma, the result is complete suffocation. Men like Sensei become stranded, unable to find a voice in the world they came from or the world they are entering. Soseki writes with a precise, almost agonizingly quiet restraint. He doesn't rush the plot. Information is withheld for chapters at a time. The delay of communication is a deliberate feature of the text. This delay forces the narrator into a moral crisis. His obsession with Sensei in Tokyo competes with his strict obligation to his dying father. We watch him admit his emotional detachment, acknowledging he could not become an obedient son, yet remaining completely cut off. Soseki is building tension entirely through absence. By making us wait, he shows us that what remains unspoken is often far more dangerous than any spoken conflict. The silence finally breaks when the narrator receives a massive confessional document in the mail. To explore what happens next, we have to talk about the novel's final act. The document reveals Sensei's youth. As a university student, he lived in a boarding house alongside his fiercely strict friend Kei and the landlord's daughter, whom they called Ojosan. The relationship is a suffocating web of intellectual pride, profound fear, and bitter secrecy between two young men too rigid to articulate their desires. Sensei had previously been financially and emotionally betrayed by his own uncle. Having learned to deeply distrust humanity, he preemptively betrays Kei, maneuvering behind his friend's back to secure Ojosan's hand in marriage. The text exposes a harsh reality about human nature. Trauma rarely creates clean lines between victims and perpetrators. Often, the person carrying the deepest wound becomes the one who inflicts it on someone else. Upon learning of the engagement, Kei quietly takes his own life. Sensei inherits the exact betrayal he feared, driving him into a lifelong emotional exile. Decades later, triggered by the end of the Meiji era and the subsequent ritual suicide of General Nogi, Sensei finally executes his own long-delayed suicide. But his death contains a devastating contradiction. He kept his secret for years to protect his innocent wife. Yet, by killing himself to pay for his past, the text points out that he destroyed his own life before he destroyed his wife's happiness. Remorse and guilt operate on different planes. Remorse looks outward and attempts to repair the damage. Guilt looks entirely inward, paralyzing the individual and punishing everyone around them. Sensei's guilt mutated into a warped kind of egoism. He prioritized his own obsessive need for punishment over his wife's desperate need for genuine connection. Whom do we protect with our silence? Are we truly sparing them? Or are we only sparing ourselves? Can a secret ever stay buried? And at what cost to the living? Soseki refuses to give us closure. The novel ends with the final words of Sensei's letter. We never return to the young narrator on the train. racing toward his own dying father. We are left staring at a structural void, forced to wonder if the young student, infected by this confession, is doomed to repeat the exact same failures of communication with his own generation. Soseki Natsume's Kokoro remains a timeless warning. It shows us that the heaviest chains we carry are often the ones we forge in total silence.